Okay, and we'll be admitting people as they come in throughout the session here. First of all, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us for a little briefing on hopefully answer some questions about your pending arrival here at Camp Durant. But before we get into that, there are some introductions that are in order. My name is Henry Goodson, and I am the camp director here at Camp Durant. And Kenna McIntyre is our assistant camp director, and Carter Sedurna is our program director, one of our two program directors for this summer. And we each have some parts in this that we're going to go over. And what our goal here is to do tonight is to just hopefully answer some of your questions that you may have, because we all know that you got parents that are asking you all these kinds of questions and you need the answers. So hopefully we can do that for you. Just a little bit of housekeeping. We are, in fact, recording this for anyone that needs to go back and reference something. So we anticipate our agenda lasting about 30-45 minutes. There's a queue for some questions, and obviously we don't have anybody on the sidelines answering the questions as we go, but hopefully we will answer them as we go. Okay?
Fantastic. So I'm going to kick us off from the side of the computer screen as I'm admitting everybody in. The first thing that I want to let you guys know is that prior to coming to camp, so in the next week or the week prior to coming to camp, one of our administrative people will be reaching out to you to get confirmation on your numbers and to find out whether or not you're bringing trailers into camp. This allows us to do some pre-planning on our part to make sure that we have enough trailer guides to guide in your trailers if you have those. We'll also be sending your final invoices at that time and confirming your check-in times. So if you're curious about what time your unit will be checking in, you can check our leader's guide. That information is there. We do check-in by campsite, and those happen between 1 and 3. If your unit is needing to come in early because you're traveling from out of state, please contact us and we can work with you to have you come in on Saturday and make sure that our staff is here to greet you and get you settled in. So that'll be the first thing that'll happen. And then the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is Sunday check-in, because I know we have a lot of units who have been here in the past and a lot of you who are new to how we handle check-in. So when you come in, we do ask that you come in at your assigned check-in time. If you're pulling a trailer, you might want to come in just a little bit earlier if your scoutmaster is the one that is pulling the trailer and will actually be taking that trailer down to the campsite, because they do need to be with the troop when you check in. So when you come in, you're going to pull into our parking lot. Our staff will be there to greet you, and you're going to cross-load your gear onto camp wagons that will get pulled down to your campsite. And will stay at your campsite. And so once both the units that are in your campsite get here, that wagon will get pulled down and you can unload your gear from there. For paperwork, some of the things that you're going to need to have when you check in, we will have a roster for you as part of your check-in packet that your site guide will give you. We will review the roster. We need to make sure that everybody in camp is on that roster, to include all of your adults. If you have adults or leaders coming in, or I'm sorry, adults or scouts coming in late, we will need you to go ahead and put their name on the roster, and we'll make an annotation that they're coming in late. For your leaders, everybody does need to be registered and have youth protection training. That's just a reminder of the new changes to our rules at the national level. You'll get a check-in packet. Your check-in packet will have your roster that your site guide will go over with you. We have a flag ceremony that's in there. For those that have never been here before, when you get to your campsite, you will see an old flag that will be flying. That flag is flying for the last time, and we're asking that you will provide you a flag ceremony so you can do a flag retirement. So that's just one of the things that we give you that option. You'll have your current merit badge selections for all of your scouts. So that's not something that you'll need to print to bring with you. That's something that we will provide. There will be maps, and you'll have merit badge change slips for any scout that's currently on wait lists. If we are unable to get them in prior to camp, you'll have slips in your check-in packet that will tell you that those scouts need to see the administration at specific times on both Sunday or Monday morning. I recommend Sunday evening to come and get your merit badge changes done. So you'll also need to make sure that you have your ATV forms for any of your scouts that are taking ATV. I'll be emailing those out tomorrow. I'll do another mass email of all the extra forms that you'll need. So your ATV forms, please make sure that those scouts have long pants, long sleeve shirts, and over the ankle boots, or they will not be able to ride. That is a ATV requirement. That's not a camp requirement. That's required by the ATV Institute that controls what we do there. Please make sure to separate out your health forms. Your health forms will not get turned in when you first check in. Those will get turned in up at the health lodge when you have the briefing and you'll meet with our medic. If you have any scouts or adults that have major allergies, please go ahead and flag those med forms for us so we can take a better look at them and make sure that we're tracking everybody that has any major issues medically. If you already have done swim checks, please make sure that you either bring those swim checks with you, or you can email those to me at kenna.mcintyre@scouting.org. Everybody should probably have my email. You can email those to us early, and we can get your buddy tags done early, and that just helps speed up our process. And then finally, as I said, your merit badge changes, your scouts can come down to the Beluga Club at 4 o'clock to start merit badge changes. The Beluga Club is downstairs of the Grand Lodge. You can meet with the administration and we'll start on those merit badge changes. One of the other things that you need to be aware of is that all of your scouts will need to have uniforms with them, because we will do flags at uniforms. And on Sunday evening, there will be a mountain biking and ATV meeting. So one of the other things that I will make sure to email out again is the link for anybody who has dietary restrictions. We need to make sure that we get those in, and please share those to your parents so that way they can put those in. We cannot guarantee food if we do not know that somebody has a dietary restriction. So I'm going to start. I see 2 hands up. So let me start with E.G. Williams from Troop 606, if you would.
Yes, thank you, Kenna. One question, you said on the health forms, keep them separate for the medical lodge. We generally made a duplicate medical book to hand over. Is that okay?
That's perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, and then my second question is, we got permission to come up on Saturday. I'm trying to see what the latest arrival is on Saturday.
Just if you could email me and I can work with you offline on that. You
Okay.
can come in as late as you need to come in.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So Katie Burgess.
For the allergies on the med forms that you want us to flag, is that minor and major? So if it's medication allergies or just something as simple as a bug bite,
we're looking more for anything that might be
like-
life-threatening. We
like
will take the time.
EpiPen allergies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will take the time to look through all of the med forms, but anything that we need to be aware of immediately, if you could flag, that would be great. That just kind of takes that to the top of the list and making sure that we take a hard look at that med form.
Do you want inhalers flagged as well?
That would be great.
Okay.
So Sean Brost.
Hi, everybody. It's Sean and Roberto from Troop 716.
Hey, guys.
I've got a couple questions. Number one, we've got a couple outstanding scholarship forms out there that I believe I sent to you. Can we talk about that offline?
Yeah.
And then the other question, it's a real basic housekeeping question for the medical forms. Stapled, unstapled, duplex, single page, does it matter?
Does not matter. We don't care. I appreciate the attention to detail.
Well, yeah, there's a story behind that, but we'll get into that some other time.
Yeah. So
understood.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay, thank you so much.
In regards to your camperships will be getting put into the system tomorrow. So that way, before we send out the final invoices.
Gotcha. And we have another one. I'll email you offline. There's another one that just came available.
Perfect.
But I'll shoot you a message about that separately. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
All right, Josh Scoburn.
Hey everybody, this is Josh Scoburn from Truth 342. I've got my other ASM, Jose Negron. We've got 9 additional that are looking to join our troop that would like to go as well. I know 2 of them have already paid up. We're worried about footprint in the campsite. Do we need to move, or is there anything we should do about that?
So send us an email and we will take a look at that.
Okay.
We will make something happen.
Cool.
Yeah, if we know about it in advance, we can we can make some accommodations, bring some more tents in and that kind of thing, because we would much rather adjust up than down. So yeah, get them in the system,
Absolutely.
get them registered, and bring them on.
I've got another one, if that's all right. Some of those 9 scouts that are additional to the ones we've originally registered are not from our troop directly, but they're kind of partnering with us. In the kind of Tentaroo side, would I register them under our troop, or would that be like a provisional scout side?
So we can.
You do that. You register them all
Yeah.
under your troop. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just members of your troop for that week, but they don't have to transfer or anything like that, you know, because I'm pretty sure that you've talked to that adult leader and you've had some good conversations about what's going to happen. So they're yours.
Perfect. Awesome. Hey, thanks y'all. This is awesome.
Absolutely. So we're gonna move on. I'm gonna throw this over to Henry.
All right. So change happens, and we anticipate that. So when you come in on Sunday afternoon at about 4 o'clock, it's going to be the first opportunity to make some changes in your kids' schedules. Okay. And let me just preface this by saying Sunday is a very, very, very busy day for everybody. It's a long day and it's a fast-paced day. So we hope that this kind of helps facilitate a better, smoother transition. So there will be an opportunity Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. The more details will be in your packet when you get here about exactly where that is and who you need to see and that kind of thing. And we also know that change happens after the sun goes down. So Monday morning at breakfast, right outside the dining hall, we'll have another opportunity to adjust those schedules. And that's hopefully going to be about it for, I mean, that's a couple, 2 or 3 times to try to dial in those schedules. So, but we want them to get what they want as much as possible that we can do. Okay. As Kenna mentioned, a stickler for the ATVs is the long pants, the long shirt, the over the ankle boots. Okay. That's not us. That's ATV Safety Institute. So hit that one more time. Climbing. Climbing's a very, very popular activity here, merit badge, that kind of thing. Let's make sure that our kids have on appropriate length shorts, please. Okay. They do climb uphill. So you can take that for what it's worth. All right. Metal work. Super popular for the kids taking the merit badge. We would like for those kids to wear long pants. Okay. Something about banging about 2,000 degree metal, that's helpful to have. Okay. And that's not for free time where they have some open sessions where they can come in, but that's for the ones that are taking the merit badge and doing that kind of thing. Okay. For your younger scouts that have their totem chip and fireman chip, please bring those with them because they want to go to the trading post to buy a pocket knife, and we're not going to sell them one without a totem chip card. Okay. So the Scoutmasters, you might have a Rolodex of those. and you can vouch for them, that kind of thing. But that's just one of those little bitty things that, you know, kid gets so excited, goes down there and is told, no, you can't do that. And we don't like to tell anybody no at Camp Durant. So, so bring those with you. Okay, there's been a merit badge adjustment with the Boy Scouts. So they have offered a disc golf option to the golf merit badge. When you see that in our literature, it is not golf merit badge. It is only the disc golf option for that merit badge. Okay. And just an additional fact on that, Camp Durant is, we were the authors of those merit badge requirements for the National Council. And if you've know anything about disc golf, you know it's one of the fastest growing green sports that there is. And we have a fabulous 18-hole course here. So we want them to come to learn and a hobby that'll last them a lifetime and earn that. We've offered disc golf as a session, just a fun session, for about 10 years now. So we're really, really proud that is actually happened. So let's just don't get confused. Scout leaders, if you want to bring golf clubs, bring them. We got plenty of golf courses around here. You can't play Pinehurst because the U.S. Open is going to be going on during that first week or so of camp. All right. So we're gonna make one change in our NLS program, and I'm gonna let Kenna cover that with you because it's it's just something that we've had to kind of make a small adjustment in. We think for the better. So, Kenna.
So I've had a lot of you reach out in regard to the fact that maybe your scout doesn't want to partake in all of the NLS program. And so Henry and I have kind of taken some time to look at it and figure out how to make these registrations happen. And so anybody that's currently registered in NLS, I'm going to go in and make some changes to their merit badges, and our NLS sessions will be offered independently. So every period will have an NLS selection that you can choose. And like I said, those that are currently registered, I'm going to go in and switch their registrations into that. So that way, if your scout needs to take a merit badge or just decides that they want to opt out of one of those sessions, they can, and they can go into our regular merit badge sessions. So I will be sending that out in this email that we send out tomorrow, explaining that a little bit more. But I wanted to give you a heads up because you might see some changes come through Tenaroo, but also that way if you have those scouts that need that merit badge or they just don't want to do that section of it, that you can go in and make those changes yourself and go ahead and adjust those merit badge selections. So I am going to address, we've got a question in the chat. Yes, for those that have the scout that needs the 3 belays and the 2 rappels, that's something that they can go over to climbing during our open climb sessions, and they'll be able to complete that portion of it. Let's see what else we've got.
Yeah, our with our program is flexible, but the policies of the BSA are not. Everybody knows the old phrase "sip or Gumby," and so we're just trying to make it as good out of the box as we can for that NLS program, which we think is going to be very exciting. Okay. Yes, Laura.
Hey, Laura, Troop 39 coming from Mecklenburg County Council. So we're excited to visit your camp this summer.
Right.
How do you guys handle wait list? Is that you move around classes, or is it better for us to, if they're still on the wait list, to assign them to a new class before we get there?
So that is something that I would leave up to you as a unit. If they are 1 or 2 on the wait list, there's a good chance that they're going to get in. We will clear our wait list prior to everyone coming into camp, and you will get a slip in your check-in packet saying that scout needs to see one of our administration people to do those merit badge changes. So that's something that we can handle once they get to camp if you choose to not go ahead and move them yourself.
Okay, thank you.
If they're one of those kids that's got to have positive space confirmation, I suggest they go ahead and sign up for something, and that way they know. Some of them don't like uncertainty, but some are willing to roll the dice a little bit. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
So CyberChip is a prereq for robotics and programming. That
Yep.
is correct. And so that's something that they need to have, so one of the things that we didn't mention, that I'm going to let Carter touch on, is how we handle our merit badges and what we sign off on when we're here at camp. So we'll get to that here in just a few minutes.
Yep, we will certainly get to that. That's always a big question. Okay, your deluxe camping accommodations here at camp. We're really excited to provide our facilities. For those of you that have never been here before, we anticipate this being a pleasurable treat for you. And you'll figure out why I'm saying that when you get here. Now, each one of our campsites is available for 2 troops. So, for instance, if we have a boy troop and a girl troop and they want to camp together, we put them on different sides of the camp, of the campsite. But if there's one troop that's got 10 kids and another one that's got 10 kids, well, there's 2 shelters in every site as well. So you do have your own space and your own shared bathhouse in your campsite. All right. Scoutmasters, thank you for what you do. And adult volunteers and committee people and assistant scoutmasters, when you take time out of your schedule to bring these kids to camp, a lot of you have to take your vacation time. We recognize that. And we want you to be comfortable here. So, that being said, y'all probably have a small REI's worth of camping gear in your trailers. If you want to set up the biggest tent you got, you can set it up in your campsite. And for adult leaders, be comfortable. You can do that, and we're happy to let you do that. We do provide the canvas tents for those that are maybe just getting started, that kind of thing. We have those. We have the cots, but a lot of you have got this troop trailer camping thing down to a fine art form. So come and practice your craft while you're in your campsite. It's going to be your campsite, so make it fun, make it comfortable. We encourage that. So you feel like you need more space, please bring it. Okay. As I touched on before, every campsite, we have 15 campsites in our camp, and every campsite has its own bathhouse. It has 3 flush toilets and 3 hot showers, all right, which are shared between the 2 units. We do not operate on the central bathhouse system, okay? It's one of those is in every single site. You'll have to clean them, take care of them for the week, and duty rosters and all that normal Boy Scout troop camp out kind of stuff. There's going to be our camp commissioner will come around every day and inspect your campsites, and we'll be able to share those sheets with you probably in your checkout packet. If not, we'll share them that morning for the next day. And we have Scoutmasters meeting every morning at 9:15 because we feel like communication is extraordinarily important, from y'all talking to us and us talking to y'all, so that you know what's going on, who, what, when, where, and why. That's one of the things we like to do. We have, for those of you that, excuse me, also have never been here, we have the Camp Durant Ice Company. And the Camp Durant Ice Company is our OA representative will take pre-orders for ice, bags of ice at a quality ice at a quality price, and we'll actually bring it to your campsite. You pay for it at the Scoutmasters meeting and that kind of thing. So that's just one of those little things that you need to be aware of. So don't panic that you're not going to be able to get ice, or you go to the trading post and you carry it, and it's half melted by the time you get back to your campsite. So we're gonna bring that on to you. Okay. We have several commissioners, logistic commissioners, head commissioners, that kind of thing. There's about 5 of them. We like to refer to those as kind of your campsite host. You know, things happen at camp, stuff breaks, light bulbs break, you run out of stuff. You know, these are the folks that can help you with that little bit of stuff. And our head commissioner will be around at your campsite every day. And all of our commissioners will be at all the meals. So we should be able to address your concern very, very quickly that you may have, because if it's a concern for you, it's a concern for us, and we want to make sure that we answer that. Okay. Now
So Joshua, did you still have a question for us? I saw the hand went down, so I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, well.
Oh, yeah, muted.
Oh, sorry, shouldn't. I didn't know if it like went away or if it's still up. Sorry.
Do you still?
Yeah. Do you have a question, Joshua?
No, not at all. Sorry. You guys
Okay.
answered it earlier.
All right, so we're gonna do a little game of musical chairs here, and I'm gonna let Carter, one of our 2 program directors here, have the hot seat, and he's got a list of miscellaneous fun stuff that he wants to go over with you.
So while they're changing spots, I'm just going to address real quick. Wilderness First Aid will be available. Unfortunately, we're having to kind of scramble in the last minute to make that happen. And our instructor for that is unfortunately had to pull out for us, but we have been able to solidify 3 of our 4 weeks of being able to offer that. So that information will come out tomorrow. And your arrival times are in your leader's guide. So that's something that you can look at. So, we'll discuss dietary requirements here in just a little bit. So Carter, it's all yours.
All right, moving on to some of the fun stuff we'll be doing at camp. So Monday nights, we host a softball game for the scouts. This is a staff versus scoutmasters game. So any scoutmasters that would like to participate, we can talk to our sports director and we can get that happen. The main reason we do this softball game is because it's a requirement for personal fitness?
Athletics, I believe.
Athletics. It's for athletics. It's for the scouts to umpire the game so they can get a requirement signed off.
Also for salesmanship.
And for salesmanship. Next up, Wednesday night, we have a cobbler cook-off. For this event, any participants, you will need to bring your own ingredients for the cobbler. So keep that in mind.
What else? Do we provide anything for them, Carter?
Dutch oven?
Yes, we provide hot coals and Dutch ovens. So,
That's right.
Yeah, just bring all your special ingredients, your chocolate chips, your cherries, all that kind of stuff. So,
and just a little side note on that. Our head commissioner, Bill Bechtel, is not a fan of chocolate. So you might want to just think, if you want to win that cobbler cook-off, you might want to break out a recipe that's not chocolate. So.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We also have a Wacky Wednesday. On Wednesday, most of our staff will dress up with silly hats, silly socks, any button-down shirts that might wear. It's a fun day. Wear whatever you want. Simple as that. At flags.
That's where
Anywhere?
it starts. It starts at the flag ceremony at breakfast. And they wear it all day or not, but it's just a fun way to start in the middle of the week and get over those Wednesday blahs.
There you go. All right. Spirit stick. Each day we will be giving a spirit stick to a new troop. This during flags, we usually have some sort of dismissal or anything like that. Like for example, superheroes, the troop with the best superhero. Silent cheers, anything like that. So be prepared for anything like that. Going on Thursday, we have a float night. So essentially what float night is at our aquatics facility, there will be floats to float in the water. And also at our trading post, we'll be selling float drinks to go float on floats with floats. That should be good.
Like that.
Yeah. So carnival instead of family night, we do not have a family night here at Camp Durant. So instead we do a carnival on Wednesday nights. It's for the scouts to have fun. We'll have plenty of activities to do, tons of fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so our carnival night is designed to give the kids an awful lot of fun stuff to do. We'll bring some inflatables, we'll have games, we'll have competitions, basketball, 3-on-3, all that, and we'll dig into that a little bit more when you get here. But just know, years ago we heard the call that Scoutmasters work with kids Monday, Tuesday, and then mom and dad come in on Wednesday and they lose some of the young ones. So I see a lot of heads shaking up and down out there. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, okay. We want every kid to bring a water bottle with their name and troop number on it. That way, when they leave it behind somewhere, we can get it back to them because, trust me, I don't need any more. I've got plenty from years and years of leftover water bottles. So we want them to go home with everything that they came. So in you're gonna know your scouts medication requirements and that kind of thing. So just be cognizant of if you've got any assistance that you need with that, our medic will be glad to help with. Okay, at our health lodge. So and lastly on that, I want to remind all the scoutmasters and the leaders that are coming to camp that we do have a medic here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay. But there's also a thing out there called Scout Rendered First Aid. If they scrape their knee in the campsite, you know, sometimes a little antibiotic ointment and a Band-Aid goes a long way. You know, if they've got a tummy ache, you know, maybe they just need to go to the bathroom because it's Thursday and they hadn't been yet. You know, things like that. So, but do not misunderstand. If you've got something going on and you need help, we have people here to help you. But if you've got little stuff, try to fix it, and if not, let us know. We'll be glad to come and help you do that. Okay. Tuesday night, one of the activities that we have in the evening is our Order of the Arrow social. So any member of your troop that is a member of the lodge, your lodge, a lodge, we have a little get together where they have some ice cream, they do some patch trading and talk about all things OA. And would love for you to encourage your airman members to come and participate in that. If your troop is in need of a call out ceremony for your troop, we can do that. As I referenced with the ice company, that is our camp OA staff person. That's their primary job. And he can help you coordinate an election for your troop. He will make sure that everybody's registered. Now, if you are from out of council and you have not had an OA election, if you bring a letter from one of your lodge officers, we can conduct it for you. Okay. We cannot conduct it for you if there's not a letter saying that your lodge will accept that. Okay. So just please be aware of that. Now we also have a Brotherhood Trail conversion that we offer here. I believe that's on, I'm not sure exactly what day it's on, but we offer it. And unfortunately, that is only for the units in our council. We can't extend that courtesy to everybody because it gets real complicated. Okay. But if you've got airmen in your unit that have met or getting ready to meet the requirements for brotherhood conversion, our OA staff member will be more than happy to work with you to get them through that portion of it. Okay. Well, I have reached the end of my list. So let's
questions.
do we have some questions
We do
in
have
there?
some questions.
Okay, let's go to the question bank.
So one of the questions that we have is in regards to supplemental food for anybody with dietary restrictions. I am not sure that Candle, actually, I take that back. I do know that our dietary lead from Candle Dining, who is our food service provider, will reach out to each family to discuss that. I did include in the last email, I believe, or a recent email, our menu. And so that's something that you want to make sure that everybody takes a look at. So that way if they need that supplemental food, that's something that they can bring. We just need to make sure if they're bringing supplemental food, we do have a little bit of space up in our dining hall for a small cooler that we can keep that food if needed to meet that dietary need.
Yeah, we want all your kids to be fed. So, there's a wide variety of food allergies out there now. So, if you know them if you've got them in your troop, okay? But we will do everything in our power to make sure that they have what they need. But I will never tell anybody to not bring a cooler full of food with them, just to make sure they have what they need. Okay.
So Carter, we have somebody asking about the triathlon and mile swim. Can you give them a little bit of information on that?
So I'll do the mile swim first. So throughout the week, we have a mile swim practice. This will be Monday through Thursday. Each day it will increment in more laps each day. So on our mile line at the aquatics facility, it's 9 total laps equal a mile. So first day you'll do 1 lap. Second day you'll do 3 laps. Third, 5th, or 5 laps, and then 4th, 7 laps. And then when you finally get to the Friday, when we actually host the mile swim, you'll have all that practice up. I shall note these practices are not mandatory, so you can just go to the Friday mile swim if you wanted to and knock out the mile there. And then for triathlon mostly. So Friday, that will start. It will go first starting with the swimming portion, and then going on to biking and then running after that.
I'm not sure the distances that we do those in. That's something that our sports staff hosts. So unfortunately, I don't have as much information.
It's not incredibly far. It's not a 5K or anything like that. And for those of you that have seen the aquatics bulletin that come out, we will be using the new mile swim standard stuff that just came out like last week. So not a huge change, but if you're wondering, yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump to that because it's coming anyway, and we might as well start now. So
one of our other questions that we have is that do we offer IOLS? We are not going to be able to offer IOLS. We've taken a hard look at that curriculum and feel that we cannot provide the highest level of experience for an IOLS class that our Scoutmasters and Scout leaders deserve. And so that's something that we have just kind of made that choice to not do any longer. And so that's how we handle that. Paddlecraft safety class will be available. All of that information will get loaded in hopefully tomorrow into Tenaroo. We just had to make sure with our NLS schedule and some changes that we've had with personnel, we had to make sure that we could offer all of our sessions, and we didn't want to tell you all that we were going to do something and then not be able to deliver on that.
The swim test is a standard BSA swim test. They jump in feet first, and they have to swim 100 yards in one with a resting backstroke, and then they have to float for a minute. We use a standard BSA 1. No tricks there. Will there be merit badge prerequisites published?
So we don't. One of the things that with Camp Durant is we don't sign off on any prereqs. We only sign off on what we complete here at camp. So if there's prerequisites for a merit badge, that's something that you will need to handle within your unit. And your unit will need to sign off on those prerequisites. The reason for that is that we could have a scout come in and say, hey, I did, 1, 2, and 3 on this merit badge. And here's a signed note from my scoutmaster that his best friend just signed, 30 seconds prior. And so we don't want to falsify any documents in that regard. So we will only sign off on the requirements that we do here at camp, which is why we do recommend that if they have the totem chip or fireman chip or cyber chip, that they bring those with them, because that's something that we can sign off on because they're actually showing us that card.
Okay, so can adults bring their own bicycles? The answer is yes. In fact, kids can bring their own bicycles as well. However, when you ride your bicycles, you got to keep your bikes on the roads, not the trails. You have to wear a helmet and you have to have a light at night. Okay. Other than that, sure, bring a bicycle.
Laura, I see your hands raised.
Yeah, so I've got a rapid fire list for you guys that I've just been kind of writing down. As far as the dietary form, sending a link to parents, already done. Are we going to be able to see a list of who has submitted those for our unit? Because I have several, and I want to make sure that without beating their parents over the head day after day to get that done, that it's done. Especially I have a large vegetarian contingent, and it's not always reliable that their parents will do those for them. So is there a way for us to get that information to make sure all those forms have been submitted?
I will speak with our with Candle and see if that's something that they can populate for me. I don't even see that information. That's something that goes directly to our food service.
When a request comes in, they typically reach out to them one-on-one and work with them individually. I can tell you that last year we never got a list for saying, hey, Troop 39's got X number that we've received, but fair question, and we do want to make sure that it's all been squared away.
Is that something that if I compile the list, because we didn't want to do it for them just because there's the parent affidavit on it, because I went through and did mine, of course, but I can compile a list of those allergies for the unit or dietary restrictions based on religion and send those in to you guys to
go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that, and we can pass that along, and maybe we can tackle that. You must have a pretty good contingent of them.
I'm bringing 43 kids.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few. A lot of our severe allergies are staying home this year, so that's nice.
Okay. All right.
On the Kendall information that we printed out, we've got the menu and all of that. It talks about being able to, like you said, refrigerate or store that food. Is there a way for them to cook and heat it, or does it need to be something like sandwiches or something easy that doesn't require heating?
So we do have microwaves up there in terms of actually cooking and prepping the food. We don't have that ability, but we do have a way to heat it for them.
Yeah.
Perfect. For cycling and fishing, if the kids that are taking the cycling merit badge don't have bikes, you do have something to provide for them?
Yes.
Okay. And then fishing, I did see, bring your pole and some bait. If we have kids that don't have that or don't have the equipment, is there some spare equipment for them as well?
Absolutely.
Certainly during fishing class and some of the free time. When it's manned, we would have that available. When it's not manned, we wouldn't have that available.
Okay. A couple more questions. Cell phone service at your camp, just for leaders in specific. We've been at camps before where we've had to get radios or walkie-talkies to be able to communicate all over camp. How's that work where you guys are at?
It's pretty good around here. AT&T, Verizon, all the standard carriers. Of course, there's dead spots. Our dining hall has a giant metal roof on it, and that kind of shuts things down a little bit. But it's not like Philmont where you got to go to Cell Phone Hill to make a phone call. Okay.
Right.
Or there's some other camps you pull into and you can say goodbye to your cell phone for a week. But and we also have an open Wi-Fi system in and around all of our buildings. cell phones, that is a troop leadership decision. Some troops don't allow kids to bring them, some do. We do not have any kind of camp rule governing that.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
this is just for adults for communication
Okay.
purposes.
All right. Shouldn't be too much of a problem.
And just
For the spirit days, I think I was getting, so it's just Wacky Wednesday and Superhero Day that you guys predetermine?
Those are the big ones.
Okay,
Yeah, that's typically at the morning assembly, and that's
Okay.
all. That just goes back to Scout spirit is all it is. If you want everybody to wear a flowered shirt on a certain day, well, wear a flowered shirt on a certain day. That shows Scout spirit, and that's really what that is. You know, and we don't do any of those kind of things in the afternoon, just in the morning. Okay.
okay. Perfect. And then is there any opportunity for large troops to turn in paperwork ahead of time? Other than the swim form, I've seen that. The
so
consent forms, like we'd come to camp and deliver. Like we'd like to come up the week before while camp's in session, just so we can get our bearings. So we usually check in at the admin office, but again, with 53 people coming, we try and give y'all a little heads up on medical forms and things like that if you accept them.
if you want to send them to us, you are more than welcome to. It's not something that we've made a general practice of normally, just because it tends to be, it can be a little tedious of keeping up with all the paperwork and not crossing in terms of the weeks and that kind of thing. But if that's something that you feel
Understood.
would help your unit, you're more than welcome to do that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
One of the things I do want to touch on just very quickly, Henry touched on it. We do have a Wi-Fi service here at camp that's pretty good. A lot of our leaders, he mentioned this, that you guys are taking time away from work. If you are needing to, work remotely, we do have Wi-Fi access for you to utilize. And I recommend being up in the Grand Lodge when our Grand Lodge, which is our dining hall, is not being used for meals. It's a pretty quiet area that you can go up and work from. Also, if you have to take a meeting, if there's some reason that you might need to take a meeting, let us know and we can try to find you a space where you can do that meeting privately. So that way you're not being interrupted. That is something that we have the ability to do and want to make sure that our Scoutmasters are being able to be served as well as our Scouts.
Absolutely.
So,
Hey, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, guys, sorry, I just thought about the dreaded question of footwear between aquatics and shower and whatnot. Are Crocs acceptable at your camp, or what's the rules of the falls?
They are. I'll take that one. Yeah, a lot of camps kind of go crazy. We're not. Somebody will probably say something if they're running around in flip-flops through the middle of camp, but Crocs are fine. Flip-flops in the campsite are fine. At the waterfront, they're fine. But just everybody needs to understand that the rocks here at Camp Durant love toes and a little bit of blood. So, if they want to run around in the campsites and flip-flops, that goes back to the Scout rendered first aid part of the equation. Okay.
So Friday is our superhero day. I believe that's normally when we do superheroes. And then open activities for adults. We have a lot of activities for adults, especially in the evening. Shooting competitions. We do have a turkey shoot that will take you from rifle to shotgun to archery. So lots of different activities. We want to make sure our adults are having a good time too. Katie.
For the assemblies, I know they said they have spirit days and you normally wear your wacky attire in the morning. So does that mean they do not have to wear Class A's?
That is correct. Class A's are only suggested to wear twice, and that is at the evening dinner and at the opening and closing campfires.
Unless you're doing flags.
And if you sign up for to do a flag raising or lowering, then yeah, you need to wear that and that might be at breakfast, but that'd be the only other time that you need to wear it. Okay.
Well, that's all the questions in the chat.
We have covered a large amount of ground, and we hope that you have found this beneficial and will make your trip here and your entry and the whole stay here as smooth as Boy Scout camp can possibly go. Without any further ado, on behalf of myself and Kenna and Carter and Jack Frazzle, who couldn't be here because his little brother is graduating high school. He's our other program director. We look forward to seeing you, and we hope that everybody travels safe, and we hope you have a good night, and thank you for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody.
Good job.